everybody, welcome to another edition of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as Hisui, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy Podcast. And this time I'm looking at the 7 Deadly Sins, Chapter 65, Inescapable Collision. And we start to see people clashing. And we start off with kind of the most interesting wild card, the person we totally don't know what their agenda is. And that's Arthur and Hendrickson. And Hendrickson basically leads him into town, and they seem to kind of be gauging each other of, seeing what their agenda is. And Hendrickson's just like, all right, you're enough in the town. I don't know what your deal is. I don't care. I'm just killing you right here. You say you want to help us. I really don't care. It's just easier for me to kill you and then deal with all this other poop that's going on in the town. And he just outright tries to murk him right there, thinking he's a crazy powerful holy knight. And Arthur blocks him pretty easily, even gets in a cut. And at the same time, that female holy knight mentions that she locked up Elizabeth and seems kind of unconcerned that she put Elizabeth in such an easy place and has snuck out, which makes me wonder right now, is that Merlin? Part of me wonders if A, is the person under the cloak some other wizard helping out Arthur, or are they both Merlin? Part of me just popped into my head, what if Merlin went over to the Holy Knights to basically hang out and try to find evidence of who betrayed them and why, and basically try to clear their name that way. And that's why she basically made Meliodas forget about her and what happened. And maybe I'm wondering, maybe she didn't make him forget. Maybe she left a message in his head like, look, I'm totally gonna go and pretend to betray the group, but I'm gonna leave this message in your head, so if we clash, I can undo it and be like, whoa, remember that message? Remember how I'm undercover? Yeah, don't murk me, Meliodas. I'm only a wizard character. I don't do well in melee. So I'm wondering that's why we haven't seen that woman's face and why she put Elizabeth in basically a cell that she could get out of so easily, as opposed to the ceremony room where stuff might already be on the way to, her being sacrificed. So that would be like the bum, good shonen twist that the person is Merlin, and then you think, oh, she's a traitor. But then, double twist. That was Merlin, but you think she's the traitor, but she's actually a double agent. I'm thinking that's my current theory. And that the person in the cloak is either, she was friends with Arthur beforehand, and that's like some dummy or something, or that it's some other wizard allied with Arthur, and we're just supposed to think that it's Merlin because of the Arthur Merlin connection. Interesting. But yes, the other Holy Knights with Hendrickson, they have to fight whoever the cloaked figure is. So I'm curious if we'll see the cloaked figure anytime soon, or if they're going to fight a little bit and let the cloak fly off at some more appropriate time. We go to Meliodas, and his story is pretty short. They're just going to sneak around. They have a little conversation, but the main gist of it, the most important part, is, I think, once again, Meliodas is definitely not totally shying away from killing, but he definitely does not want to unnecessarily bring up any casualties. So, I think his resolution is hardened, but he's still kind of a nice guy. And I think we're supposed to see stuff like that from, once again, him trying to sneak now that they've broken in. And once again, avoiding, if even not killing other holy knights. I mean, there are a lot of civilians around. And, he might be fine with killing holy knights, but he definitely still is not, wanting to kill civilians, especially if he was responsible for the destruction of that whole city. That probably still weighs on him a lot. But then we get to the best part. One, there's a lot of dissension in the ranks. Helbron definitely totally BSing all his fellow holy knights, obviously knowing much more of what's going on, totally feeding them a line about why the 7 sins are there, definitely trying to distract them, trying to distract his allies even more than the, sins, and definitely does not want people to know what's going on. Gelia definitely near the breaking point, definitely looking much more like the first character to, turn heel because, or I mean, basically go back to the light or join a good guy's side because she's definitely like, look, you guys done murdered my father. And don't think I'm just going to be like, well, sometimes dads die. What you gonna do? Wah, wah, wah. Once again, actually, now that I think about it, doesn't necessarily mean she's gonna be a good guy. Just might not be working with the Holy Knights anymore. Could be a potential Arthur crew member, especially depending on how this all goes down. That actually kind of would be an interesting twist if she's like, Holy Knights, I'm out. Arthur, let's go. Consider me a knight of Camelot. But still, we don't really know Arthur's agenda, so I'm really curious what's going on with that. Actually, what would be really weirdly interesting? Is if there is no Arthur and Arthur is just like a puppet spell of Merlin. That would kind of be wackily interesting. But that's like totally like, that's just like, here's me throwing out a weird theory that just popped into my head. If that one isn't real, then, that one's like wild mass guessing. Like, not my most preferred theory, but would be wacky. But yeah, I definitely see Gilead joining Arthur more than that one. And Hauser definitely still like, maybe the sins aren't all that bad, and if maybe some of them diet could be redeemed. Especially if they're super hot giant ladies. Just throwing stuff out. I mean, Lightning Guy, you totally always looked up to Melodus. And, you could have been 100% wrong. And, sometimes people have big tits. I mean, good hearts, but are in bad positions. Just throwing things. So, once again, definitely a character who might have a turn of heart. Especially considering some of the jerkier Holy Knights. I'm still kind of curious what Jericho's deal is. She definitely seems like she ain't totally on team Holy Knight, but she doesn't really seem like I'm going to defect anytime soon either. But as they're all kind of arguing and generally revealing how dedicated to the cause they are, we get the bestest scene. And I was like, why did they have King and Diane stay back? There had to be a reason. Like, they would have found some other way to get them, and it was for this scene. Just having Diane just be like stuck there, and them running into Diane, and Diane running to them, and just the look on their face, the look on her face, so good. And just the way that she just smiles, like once she gets over the very initial shock, like, this is gonna be awesome. And you're like, yes, this is why I love this character. So good. I mean, especially with Bleach and UQ Holder kind of doing either the genderless or female characters so, like, if you're not a male character, you're not going to be awesome in shonen manga. And just having Diane, and especially after Diane didn't fight anything in the Grouser fight, having her here being awesome and like basically her and King taking on all these holy knights. Just so I'm so pumped. And I love that Diane is definitely my favorite character, and definitely just to have her with her holy weapon totally going to town. This is gonna be so good. So good. 66 cannot come quick enough. Although I have to say, the chapter titles, they have the next chapter titles at the end of every Seven Deadly Sins. And I usually don't go into them that much. But First Sacrifice? Man, I wonder, is it going to be like someone just sacrificed for the ceremony? And that's what they mean by first sacrifice? Or is a named character going to die? Because, I mean, like, the two jerk-off holy knights, if one of them dies, like, who cares? But if somebody like Hauser or Gilia bites the dust, that would be a little unexpected at this point. But I'm curious to see how that is going to go. It might just be them talking about Elizabeth being a sacrifice, and it was just provocative, like, basically all the bum 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 I'm doing right now is exactly what they want. But I am kind of curious to see how that chapter pans out. Definitely a hook of a next chapter title. But man, come on, Diane, be awesome. Definitely show up all those other shonen manga by having her just be super cool. All right, guys. See you guys next time.